you went from kind of a for-profit job to now something that's more profitable internally from your soul's perspective and what you want to give in this world. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make a real difference but doesn't know where to start or is afraid to start? Is there any advice that you'd give them?
You know, so I'm going to start with a very cliche saying, but I found it to be very true in my life. And they say that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I've found that to be so true the last
Mm-hmm.
decade plus of doing this. And so, it's interesting because I make not a ton of money, but I get up every day and I have the privilege of saying, I get to go to work. I don't have to go to work. And there's so
Mm-hmm.
many of us in this country every day that get up and we're like, man, we got to go to work today. And
Yeah.
we live for Fridays. We live for the weekend. And I
Yep.
remember being in that point
Yeah.
where, man, thank God it's Friday. I get a couple days off. Fridays mean nothing to me anymore. Why?
Yeah.
Because I usually work on the weekend, number one. But number
Mm-hmm.
two, I don't dread going to work on Monday. So
Yeah.
when you love what you're doing, you don't hate Mondays and you don't
Mm-hmm.
love Fridays near as much. But the best advice that I can give anybody is getting the privilege to say you get to go to work and you don't have to go to work will far outweigh any paycheck you'll ever get. I know people that make 20 times more money than I do, and they are very upset all the time. They're very stressed all the time. So anybody that's willing, that wants to take that leap, that wants to do something more meaningful with their life, my best advice is to tell them to just do it because you won't regret what happens in the end.